Hi guys, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to teach you how to make this easy crochet ripple. And you can use any size yarn and whatever hook size that yarn recommends. I'm using worsted weight yarn, which is 4 ply for the US, 10 ply for Australia, and a 5mm hook or size H hook for the US. The multiples of this stitch is 8 plus 4. And what that means is that you're going to chain in sets of 8, 8, 8, 8 until you reach your desired width, and then once you have, you'll chain 4 more and you're ready to start row 1. Okay, I did my multiples of 8. I have it the width that I want, so I'm going to chain 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm ready to begin row 1. For row 1, you want to double crochet in the 8th chain from the hook. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In this 8th chain, put a double crochet. Then you're going to want to put another double crochet in the same stitch, chain 1, and then in the same stitch again put 2 more double crochets. So all in the same So all in the same stitch, you'll have 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Then you'll want to skip 3 stitches, and you'll also want to chain 1. So chain 1, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and in this 4th chain here, you'll put a single crochet. Then chain 1 again, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and in this 4th chain away from your single crochet, you'll put the same thing that you did here. 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and in this 4th here, put 2 double crochet. Ooh, my loop's a little big. I don't like having such a big loop here. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Then again, you're going to repeat what you did back here. So again, you'll chain 1, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and in this 4th, you'll put a single crochet. Then you repeat that for the row. Chain 1 again, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and in this 4th chain away from your single crochet, you're going to start your next 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And you're going to keep repeating your double crochets, chain 1, skip 3, single crochet, chain 1, skip 3, and then 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. You're going to repeat that for the whole row. And when you get to the end of your row, you should be ending on 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. You should have 4 chains left. So you're going to keep doing what you did before. You're going to skip, you'll chain 1, skip 3, and single crochet in that last chain. And that will end row 1. Okay, for row 2, you want to begin by chaining 3, 1, 2, and 3, and turn. And in this very first single crochet of your row, which is the last stitch you did last row, you're going to be putting 2 double crochets worked into that same single crochet. So 1 and 2. Then you're going to chain 1, and you're going to find that chain space in between your 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, find that chain 1 space, and in it you want to put a single crochet. And then you'll chain 1 again. Then you're going to come over to your single crochet, and you're going to work like you did last time. Here, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. You're going to be working that into your single crochet here. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, all worked into that single crochet. Then after you've done that, you will always chain 1, find the chain 1 space in between your double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, and in that space again you're going to put a single crochet. Then you'll chain 1, and then you're going to move over and do your next set of 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets worked in your single crochet. So continue that down your row. Okay, I've come up to the end of row 2. I just did my single crochet, chain 1, and now I'm ready to end my row. So what you want to do is find the first unworked chain next to your double crochets here, and you want to count back 5. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in this 5th chain here you want to put 3 double crochets, all worked in that same chain. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to be changing colors for row 3, so go ahead and grab your next color. Okay, I grabbed my next color. So what I usually do when I change colors is I don't complete the last of my stitch here on the end. So instead of pulling through the last 2 loops on my hook like I did to finish my double crochet, I'm just going to leave those last 2 loops on my hook. So if you don't know what I mean, remember we had to do 3 double crochets in this last stitch here. So I only have 2 and need to do 1 more. So I'm going to pull through the first 2, leaving the last 2 loops on my hook. And you can go ahead and cut your yarn, because when you start again you'll be on the other side. So what I do is I usually take my new color, back up a bit, and I just fold it like this, keeping in mind that this is going to be the size of your fringe. So leave yourself as much the length that you want, or even a little longer, because it can be trimmed later. Just don't shorten yourself. And then you take this part here, which is essentially like a loop now, and I'm going to grab it with my hook and feed it through both of my loops. Then you want to pull your original color just a little bit, just to tighten the loop to hold your yarn a little better, and then just drop it and pick up your new color. As you can see, there's fringe on the side, and on this pattern here there's fringe, but it's only going to be on one side. See, the other side has no fringe, so you're always going to be beginning and ending on the same side. You'll do 2 rows of one color, and then it'll always bring you back to the same row. The next color, when you change, you'll be doing 2 rows of this color. Then you'll change and do 2 rows of this color. So I guess in theory, if you wanted to leave your yarn attached, you could. You don't have to cut it, and then you can just keep bringing it up on the side here, which will save you a lot of, headache later. So I'll move that to the side. So we're ready to begin. Okay, so for row 3, which is pretty much a repeat of row 1, only this time instead of working in chains, you're going to be working in stitches. So you'll chain 1, and then you'll single crochet in this first stitch. Then you're going to chain 1, and you're going to find the same stitch here where you have your single crochet worked in your chain 1 space, when you, the thing you did in row 2. And you're going to be working in that same chain 1 space. So you're going to be basically working over the single crochet as if it's not there, and working in the same space, the same chain 1 space. So you're going to be working your 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, all worked into this chain 1 space 2 rows down. So I'm going to yarn over, find my chain 1 space here, and pull up a loop and do my double crochet. I'm going to repeat that. Chain 1 and then 2 more double crochets. I do try to not let some yarn pop up in between, because it looks better when it's all together. 1 and 2. And if this part, when you're working on it, the part underneath, which I guess would be here next time, no, here, when you start to work on it and it folds a little bit like this because you're working over the single crochet, I say it's fine. It actually makes it look better. As you can see, whoops, as you can see here, it kind of makes it poof out more because it's thicker behind it. So it actually gives it a better look. So don't try to straighten out the single crochet. If it folds, it's good. So don't try to keep it straight. If it wants to fold over, go ahead and let it. So after you've done your 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, you're going to chain 1 again, and you're going to find that chain 1 space, and you're going to put a single crochet in it. Then you'll chain 1, then you'll come over to, again, your chain 1 space. That last row you put a single crochet in it, which again we just did here. But for the next row down here, we have a single crochet worked in our chain 1. We're going to skip that single crochet and just go into that chain 1 space. See how it wants to fold back like that? So it's not going to fold forward, it's going to fold back on you. Just let it, because it's going to add texture to your stitch. So you'll put 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And also try not to let any of the other colors show in between, because it looks better if it just shows the new color and not the old. I mean, I know sometimes you may not be able to do it, but when possible, try to tighten your stitches enough where it won't show the other color underneath. It gives it a lot better look. So when you're finished your 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, you'll chain 1, and you're going to single crochet in that next chain 1 space. Then you'll chain 1, and then you'll repeat in your next. So continue that down your row, and I'll see you when you get done. Okay, when you come to the end of row 3, you want to go ahead and chain 1, and then single crochet in the top of your chain 3. And that will end row 3. Okay, for row 4, you're going to chain 3 and turn, and this is basically a repeat of row 2. You're going to be repeating rows 2 and 3 for this project. So you'll chain 3, and in that same stitch you're going to put 2 double crochets. Then you'll chain 1, and in this chain 1 space in between your 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, again you're going to want to put a single crochet. And you'll chain 1 again, find your next stitch here where you have your single crochet inside your chain 1 space, and again, just like we did last row, we're going to be working in that chain 1 space and not in the single crochet. So we're going to go into the chain 1 here, and we're going to work our 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, all in that same chain 1 space. And then when you get done with that, you'll chain 1, find your next chain 1 space here from last row, and you'll put a single crochet in there. Chain 1, and then again you'll be working your stitch the same as you did before, inside the chain 1 space, not in the single crochet. So continue that down your row. So I'm coming to the end of row 4. I just did my single crochet, chain 1, and now to end your row, you're going to work 3 double crochets in that last single crochet of your row. 1, 2, and again, this very last double crochet, I'm only going to pull through 2, and I'm leaving my last 2, and then this time I'm not going to cut my yarn. It's kind of a pain in the butt to not cut your yarn, but it's a pain in the butt to hide the tails too, so it's up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and switch that out and tighten it. And then basically you're going to be repeating rows 2 and 3 again. I want to go ahead and show you what I was talking about when I mean to bring up the yarn. So I'm going to go ahead and do the next stitch, which again you're going to be repeating rows 2 and 3. So right now we just did a repeat of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So this is 2. So we just did a repeat of row 2. So now I'm about to repeat row 3, which is going to be chaining. Nope, we did the chain last time. Yeah, the beginning, if you start with the single crochets, the double crochets right at the beginning, you know that that's the chain 3, 2 double crochet row. The next row will always be a chain 1 turn, single crochet. Then you'll chain 1, and then right away you're going to have a single crochet worked in a chain 1 space. If there's already a single crochet in the space, then you know that it's a time to put one of these in there, which is I guess the double crochet, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And when you come up to one that doesn't have a crochet, a single crochet in it, you know that that's where you need to do your chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, just to help you out there a little bit. So I'm going to continue to do this down my row. This first one has a single crochet in it already, so I know I need to work my 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Then after each set of 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, you will always be chaining 1. So you'll chain 1, find this spot here, has no single crochet in it, so put 1. Then you'll chain 1, move on over to your next space. So continue to do that down your row, and I'll see you back in a minute. Okay, again at the end of the row you'll be chaining 1 after your 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, and you'll be putting a single crochet in the top of that ending chain 3. Then again chain 1. Remember we did a chain 1 single crochet last row, so we know this row is going to be a chain of 3. Then turn and put 2 more double crochets in this very first stitch. Then after each set of double crochets, after each set of anything, you always chain 1. This one here does not have a single crochet in it, so we know we need to put a single crochet there and chain 1. This one does have a single crochet in it, so we know we want to put our 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, all worked in that same stitch. And then again always chain 1, single crochet in the next, chain 1, and then continue on down your row, and then I'll show you how you can switch colors without cutting it. Okay, I've come to the end of my row. I just did my single crochet, chain 1. Now I'm ready to finish off my row of my 3 double crochets worked in the last single crochet of the row. So I'm going to do my first 2 double crochets and complete them. My 3rd double crochet, I'm only going to pull through the first 2, leaving the last 2. Now you want to drop that color that you're using, grab the other color that's still attached, and loosely you want to wrap it around and pull it through your loop. You want to do it loosely because you don't want it to be pulling down like that. It's going to pull your whole work down. So you just want to make sure that it's loose, but it's not too loose where it's doing that. So just pull the string, tighten it, but not too tight. Just make sure that's all flat on that side, and then you're ready to start working with this one. And again, since we just did the chain 3 on the beginning of this row, you're going to do a chain 1 turn and work a single crochet in that first one and chain 1. And then again, right off the bat, you have a single crochet in your chain space already, which means you're going to be doing your 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets worked in that stitch. So that's it. I hope that this tutorial was helpful for you. If it was, don't forget to leave a like, share this video. It helps me out so much. Also, there's a little bell button next to the subscribe button on the main YouTube page. If you click that, you'll always be notified whenever I release a new video. Where's my hook here? If you're wanting to know what kind of hook this is a Furls wooden hook, and they come using other kinds of wood, so they have other colors. So go on there and check it out. There's a link down below this video, and if you click there, it should take you to the page where you can order one for yourself. But I recommend it, when you order it, that you order it with an extended hook handle. If not, extended hook, not hook handle. If not, it's going to be like half the size. Also, I have a group on Facebook called Crochet for the Masses, where we share links to free patterns, we share funny stuff about crochet that we find on the internet, we share pictures of the projects that we're making, and it's a really great place to ask questions too if you get stuck. So that's it, guys. Thank you so very much for watching this tutorial. And again, if you liked it, please show your love underneath this video and click like, comment down below. Thank you so much for watching.